Hello and welcome to the Climbing Daily Wednesday News Show. I'm Matt Groom and you're back!
I'm back!
Welcome back!
Thanks very much.
How long are you back for?
Just the 1 week.
1 week. Well, it's good to have you back on the Climbing Daily Wednesday News Show.
Thank you very much.
Should we crack straight on with IFSC highlights? Because it was the IFSC World Cup competition this weekend in Tokyo in Japan. Japan is a country slowly going climbing crazy, and with a home crowd advantage, the Japanese athletes put in some good performances. In the women's comp, Russia's Ekaterina Kiprianova had never previously been on a World Cup podium, but pulled out all the stops in Hachioji. She topped boulders 1 and 2 to claim a bronze medal, another athlete to watch for the future.
At the top for Katja, it took a while.
Japan's Miho Nanaka has had an incredibly consistent season, with a string of second place finishes. Her teammate Akio Noguchi has been unstoppable in China and brought her winning ways back to her home country. She topped every single boulder throughout the weekend apart from problem 3 in the final. So that's 3 wins in a row for Akio Noguchi. The men's comp featured some seriously difficult boulders which all the athletes struggled to top. Japan's Rai Sugimoto managed 1 top, but still enough for a bronze medal in this unforgiving final round. Japan's Tomoe Narasaki claimed 3 zones and a top with his flash of boulder 4. A well-deserved silver medal for Tomoe. Italy's Gabriele Moroni has never quite managed to win a World Cup event. All that changed in Japan. He topped boulder 1 and flashed boulder 4, taking the win in front of an appreciative crowd. So first of all, some talking points, and we've got to start with Gabriele Moroni because what a dude.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw him a couple of months ago at the Italian Bouldering Championships in Torino, and he cruised it. He was super, super strong. So it was really cool to see him win.
Yeah, and the crowd, like you could hear the crowd because everyone sort of knew, because that crowd in Japan is so educated on climbing.
Yeah.
And you could see that when he topped that boulder, and the crowd were just going nuts, and even the Japanese athletes were just so happy.
Guys in the commentary box are getting very excited as well. Charlie Bosco, somebody around his age.
Do better, that is extraordinary.
Speaking of age.
see, you mean Gabriele and Charlie Bosco?
Yeah, exactly.
And older athletes.
Older athletes. Yeah. I think that is this could be a talking point this week, as in older athletes, still doing it, like Akio Noguchi.
Yeah.
Still, well, she's only 29.
But in terms of sort of sport, generally, the more towards 30 you get, people start to drop off. With climbing, it just seems that these athletes are getting better. Yeah. Do you think that it's all experience, or do you just think the body is different for climbing? You still maintain those sinews and muscles.
Yeah, I think obviously experience is a lot. Like climbing in front of crowds, you hear so much about young people coming through with a huge amount of promise and just losing it in front of the big crowds. But then also I think just being able to kind of sustain good training, good health. Obviously I think there's new techniques kind of coming in. People are probably obviously training better. So
but Akio literally only didn't top 1 boulder. How crazy is that?
Yeah.
The whole weekend, everything was climbed apart from one thing.
She's been climbing like that all season. It's crazy. And to think that she's we kind of thought Mio coming on the scene would be she'd take over the mantle kind of thing, and Shauna obviously is a bit younger, but Akio's just come back just as strong. I
cannot wait to see the two of them, Akio and Miho, in the lead season, going head to head.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be amazing. We should put on a bet now to see who we think's gonna win it.
Okay, I'll go Akio.
Okay, not win it, but who's gonna do better
out of those 2?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say Akio.
Miho for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're on.
What have we betted?
I don't know.
Honour.
No money, just the
honour
of winning.
Being right. So let's move on to some sport climbing news, and Ted Kingsworth, who is a bit of a legend in the UK scene specifically. You've seen him at Raventall, we filmed there years ago. And he's one of the strongest climbers in the UK, but he's kind of underground. But he's climbed his long-term project, which is an 8C+ in America. The route is called Just Do It, and it's on the Monkey Face in Oregon. It's a 35-metre stamina fest with sections of between 7C and 8B Sport between the bolts, and a tricky V8 boulder section. Ted has been flying from the UK to project the route on trips since 2015, fitting it in between his work schedule. So number 1, it's a really high achievement. Obviously 8C+ is right up there in terms of grades. But what's really, what we find quite interesting about this story is, do you remember when I went to the Rockover gym in Manchester?
Yep.
So I was talking to Tom Stewart, who runs that gym, and he had allowed Ted to build a replica of the crux of that project on his wall. So Ted would do that as part of his training. So he'd climb outside, he'd boulder, all the rest, but he could go back to this crux and work it, it was just cool to stand underneath, hear this story, and then recently to learn he's actually climbed the thing. Here's a little teaser, or a little clip of that episode.
We also allow our customers to have projects, and here we're Ted Kingsnorth. He's currently out in Red Rocks climbing Just Do It with Mina, and he's replicated the crux section, which is 8C+, but made it 9A, so give him a better chance. He'll come in the morning, have breakfast, spend an hour just working the moves and lapping it, then go to Malham, spend a day on Predator and 8B, come back here, another hour on this, and it's the black one.
Okay, so that's the crux. So he's in America now working this route that he's trained on here.
Yes.
So he's got, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Really good work there, Ted. Sticking with sport climbing in the UK, Pete Dawson, who is 19 years old, has climbed Rain Shadow 9A in Malham Cove. Rain Shadow is one of the most popular 9As in the UK and features steep climbing and an 8A boulder crux. It is the extension of the classic 8A Rain Dogs. Nice one, Pete. We don't know a huge amount about you because we did a few bit trolling. Matt did his expert trolling and couldn't find an Instagram page or too much info on the web about you. Maybe you're just trying to keep yourself under the radar.
Maybe I just missed it.
Maybe you shouldn't have sent in your centre UK climbing, or maybe so your mate shouldn't have. But if anyone knows who Pete is, just let us know in the comments below. Yeah, link his Instagram or something, and we'll pin it, and so you can all go and check him out.
Because I did try to find it, but
that is an impressive send. Very well done.
Speed climbing now.
Speed climbing, but not that type of speed climbing, the other type of speed climbing.
Yeah, long distance speed climbing. So Alex Honnold and Tommy Caldwell have set another record on the nose in Yosemite. So they had got this incredible time of 2 hours, 10 minutes and something. But then 5 days later came back, got 2 hours, 1 minute and 50 seconds on the ascent of the nose. And apparently they got a rope stuck or something, so it could have been even quicker.
Wow.
The pair have worked together to speed climb the nose before and have formed a great partnership. There's a possibility of them getting a sub 2 hour time. So what everyone keeps talking about is whether Alex Honnold and Tommy Caldwell are going to beat that magical 2 hour time, which, I mean, looking at how much time they're taking off the record, it should be possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they've been climbing for over 8 times in the last kind of couple of weeks. So, I mean, they could just kind of keep going until they get under 2 hours. Yeah.
That's the plan, and hopefully that little rope jam they got, they'll iron out those little wrinkles, and then they'll be able to carry on.
I was going to ask actually, just on the kind of subject of the kind of technicalities of it. I kind of think I know, but I don't know the exact kind of details, and maybe some of the audience guys don't know. Can you just explain fully what is simulclimbing?
Okay, so simulclimbing is the fastest way to move up a rock. So the leader will set off, they'll place some gear and keep on moving, and the second when the rope gets to them, they'll set off. They'll get to that first bit of gear, they'll remove it, and by that time, hopefully your lead climber will have placed more gear. And the idea is always to keep a few bits of gear between the two climbers in case of a fall. But it's intrinsically a very dangerous way of climbing because of that increased fall danger. So, in a lead climb, you fall off, you've got lots of pieces of gear and you're less likely to fall far. Whereas if you're simul climbing and you're doing it very quickly, you've got less gear in. So let's say you've got 2 bits in and a 60-meter bit of rope. That's huge fall forces and distances to fall. And the danger is one of those things that we're seeing sadly taking place recently was the death of Tim Klein and Jason Wells. So they were on Free Blast, so not the nose, but they were simul climbing, they were speed climbing, and they took a fall about 1,000 feet up on a bit of terrain that's fairly moderate, sort of 5-7 kind of climbing, so well within their ability. Yeah. And they fell and were killed. And we've been trying to look into exactly how that happened because people are saying it's a bit odd considering their level of experience and skill. There's been talk of loose rock, possibly loose pitons, or someone mentioned, I think it was Rock and Ice, I read it on, about a haul bag maybe falling and hitting one of them, but none of this is confirmed. But an absolute tragedy within the climbing community.
Yeah.
And sort of on the subject of falls, did you see on BBC News the Fairhead stuff?
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, so we've obviously been to Fairhead a lot in the last couple of years, and this year 2 climbers took a fall in the Hell's Kitchen area and they fell 50 metres apparently, survived it, broken bones and bruising and all the rest, but they are okay, which is amazing news.
And now it's time for the 9B counter. Okay, so it's time for the 9B counter. Can you think of any 9Bs this week? There is one.
And it wasn't this week.
It wasn't this week, but we've kind of been waiting to see what happened with it because there was a bit of a discussion on it. You could argue that we should have put it in earlier, but it's Berman Bertel, The Last Supper of the Lizard King in the Swiss Alps. And there's been a bit of a controversy over this. I think it's ever since Berman's last 9B was downgraded to 9A by Adamondra. There was a bit of a kick up of a fuss of that. And then he kind of climbed this other 9B. It's at 1,800 meters altitude, so it's high. And yeah, he's claimed that it's a 9B. I think, considering everything that's happened with Berman, we interviewed him a while back. He's a lovely, lovely guy, very genuine. So we're going to stick him on the 9B counter.
Yeah. Maybe we should say if it gets downgraded before
we'll have another discussion.
Yeah.
It depends who he gets downgraded by.
Exactly.
So here you go, Berman. Little tickeroony. Well done, my friend. Well done. Cool. Right, so videos on EpicTV. What do we have?
Well, we've still got our amazing Steve McClure movie.
Yes, 20 minutes of documentary gold. Speaking about Steve McClure, the big man, the muscle man, Strong Steve, whatever you want to call him. He's a bit of a legend. And this film is, it's beautiful, it's kind of thoughtful, it's, provoking. It's everything you want in a climbing movie, and it's got some footage of Steve trying out a 9A in Spain. Here's a little clip.
All of my upbringing as a climber was all traditional. I mean, I was a full British traditional climber. And yeah, traditional climbing can be dangerous. I had a pretty bad accident in Pembroke, kind of got away with that one. But it was my friend that had a really bad accident, and it really happened right in front of my eyes. He took a ground fall, landed on his head, really serious injury. It looked like he definitely died, and I had to sort of deal with that firsthand, happening right there. And then it became clear that he hadn't died, but it was looking like he probably would die. It was really full on, really intense, the whole experience, and it took him a long time to recover. It really affected him personally and had a big influence on my climbing.
So as that clip demonstrated, the film isn't just about this 9A he's trying. It also looks at his life, the reasons he moved a little bit away from trad climbing towards hard sport climbing. So it's stuff I didn't know about him, so well worth a watch.
Yeah, super good. We've also got the Cold House Media vlog, which is carrying on. They've been developing an area in Peru, and it's kind of been like the behind the scenes of how you kind of go about doing that. The guys have been working super hard. Here's a little clip from the latest vlog.
So those routes are unclimbed, so if you fancy going to Peru and having a go at them, they're there.
Or if you're already there.
Or if you're there, just give them a go.
Yeah, just go and say hi. I don't think they're in Peru anymore though. No. That vlog's a week behind.
Any shop stuff?
Yes, 50% off, like 2 pairs of shoes. You get 50% off your total thing, which is kind of a deal that we do regularly these days. And then otherwise we've got like some mix and match kind of deals going on. 15% off if you buy kind of 3 bits together. It's not like that.
Yeah,
it is like
that's
that.
Good.
Okay, cool. All right, nice.
Cool. Nice to have you back, man.
Thanks very much.
Fun week.
I'll be away next week, and then I'll be back the week after. And then for the rest of the summer, I'm going to be here.
Yeah, I've gone a lot.
Really?
Just gone a lot.
So it's gonna be me by myself.